Hey everyone, Carl here with Littleroot Lessons, and we're going to talk about the current Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Draft League that I'm a part of for our community right now. We are halfway through the season. I am 1-1. I'm on bye this week, so I figured I could do a quick rundown of a mid-season, whatever kind of overview of my team, talk about the matches that I played thus far, my experiences in the overall league, things I've noticed in this format that are probably a little too powerful, and maybe could be adjusted for future leagues. But to start, we are the Tennessee Dynamos again this year. We took a year off from being the Tennessee Dynamos as Dynamo isn't in the game, and I just wanted to be St. Louis Snorlax last time. I wanted to showcase all my draft Pokemon. We ended up having to drop out of that league after a 1-2 start, if I remember correctly. Real rough start for it. Snorlax never really got to do its thing, but I'm real excited to play on Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, as it's a new format. There's no gimmicks, no crazy nonsense to deal with, and I was picked number 6 overall in the draft. So the way our drafts work is we would go down the ladder and then we'd go back up the ladder. So I was picked number 6, and then I was like picked number 31 or something like that. So I would get fairly back-to-back picks after rounds 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5, and then 6 and then 6 and 7, kind of there. But there was a lot of things that I really wanted to get that I didn't get a chance to get access to. Mainly things like Kingdra or Metagross. I think those Pokemon would have been very, very good options for this team. But instead, we went with a double S draft with a bunch of Bs and a bunch of Cs. Overall, for those that know kind of how draft league tier lists work, S Pokemon are probably some of the most powerful stuff in the format. Bs are usual playables that have real good niche roles, and then Cs are usually kind of there to kind of just fill in gaps on your team, kind of try to fill in certain roles if you can access that stuff. So this was my draft in order. Starting out with Togekiss here. Togekiss fell to me at number 6. If I remember correctly, Raikou went number 1. Then there was a Latios pick right before me. There was a couple A picks real early on too. So it really kind of threw me off because I wasn't expecting Togekiss to fall all the way down to me. And it felt too powerful to pass up compared to, I think, the Latios was another option I had. Really looked at like very highly, just rated these support Pokemon in the S tier picks early, and was really expecting to only end up with like Latias or some kind of weird Arcanine thing, and instead I ended up getting Togekiss, which I think is one of the best Pokemon in my opinion. You just do so much with this thing being a fairy type. Plus you just got really good speed and special defense. You're very, very bulky. You always can nasty plot if you need to do something, and it also fills that redirection follow me role, which was super critical, I feel like, on these teams where setup is so important. Next pick, we ended up getting Keytran. Like I mentioned, I really wanted Kingdra or Metagross into this slot. I was aiming to fill out my fantasy core really early because I figured dragons and fairies are going to be the hard things to find, which turns out later on we got another fairy type in Gramble, which we'll talk about that in a little bit. But so instead of looking for another like weird dragon, because Salamence was already off the table, I didn't want Dragonite. Flygon was an option for me, but I didn't want to take Flygon at round 2, so I ended up picking Keytran. This works out really well. Now granted, Keytran does have its own big thing in like 4 times weakness to ground, but Togekiss has flying, so you're immune to ground, and that kind of helps with that weakness a little bit. And as we get through the rest of this team, you'll notice that there's a lot of Levitate and flying types on this team to kind of help supplement our big weakness to ground for Heatran. Heatran overall is very, very powerful, very, very offensive Pokemon, and really good defensively as well. Fire Steel is a very strong typing, only having that 4 times weakness, really. You are also weak to fighting and water, but those are other things that you can easily work around and mitigate. But the big ground weakness was the core issue that I noticed when I drafted Heatran. So round 3, this came back around real quick. I got to make a Flygon pick really, really fast. This trio, these 3 right here, are the core of my team, and I feel like they are Very, very powerful and very, very strong. It forces my opponents to have to plan each week on what these three are going to do, because all three of them can be an offensive super if I want them to be, but they also can just play these supportive roles that kind of throw your opponents off guard. Like Togekiss can be super offensive with like Nasty Plot and stab attacks. You can play like Serene Grace, or you can play Hustle, like Physical Hustle. Togekiss is also an option for you. As for Keytran, you get things like Will-O-Wisp and Taunt and Stealth Rocks, and there's some really good tools there if you're looking for support Keytran stuff. And then Flygon's probably the weakest support mon of the three. Having access to Bulldoze, though, is really, really good, especially when you have Togekiss sitting next to you. You can, like, bulldoze your opponents if they're going to be, like, speed tying or a little bit faster than your Togekiss. You can play a bulkier Kiss and then use that to kind of speed check with Bulldoze and then outspeed and kind of take over the game that way, which we did very, very effectively in Week 2. Moving out of the top 3 picks here, we kind of look into how I thought the rest of this team was going to go. I immediately grabbed Rotom Frost as a electric type. My other option was Rotom Fan at the time. I didn't want to take Rotom Mo, who was an A tier, and then the other Rotoms were a little bit out of my price range at that point. But Rotom Frost fits really, really well with this team. We are an Ice Resist because we do have 2 Ice weaknesses in Togekiss and Flygon, and I wanted another Ice Resist to help mitigate that weakness, and Rotom Frost kind of just fits the bill. It's also another Levitate user, so it pairs well with Keytran. It pairs well with Flygon, giving me the ability to do Disc Quake things. That's very, very strong. And Rotom Frost also fills that support role a little bit, kind of doing the same thing that Keytran does, but being a Ghost, a faster support mon. You can slap Choice Scarf on this thing and like Will-O-Wisp people or trick it onto other things to kind of shut down Pokemon, which is really cool. I think I took one of the first C tiers really early too. Spiritomb was high on my list when we were going over the tier list earlier. I really think this should have been a B tier Pokemon, and we instead put it in C. It didn't get to do a whole lot so far this season, only really coming like twice into matchups, but every week my opponents had a real good game plan against a Spiritomb if I ever were to bring it, so it just hasn't felt right to have. But Spiritomb does offer a lot in terms of support. It is fairly bulky. It's not the fastest Pokemon, but we can talk about how my team gets to do these 2 speed mode things, which is really, really cool, a little bit later. But you have access to things like Snarl, Foul Play. This was my support, my strong support Pokemon that I wanted to draft. These were all middling support Pokemon that had real good offensive pressures, and then Spiritomb was my first, I need support, I'm going to need help building with these teams. This is probably my best pick to grab right here. Next up, we picked Leafeon. We had a weird plan where we were going to do like Sunny Day things with Leafeon, tried chlorophyll stuff. It was kind of cool. The rest of the picks ended up not going our way, so we ended up trading Leafeon out for a Pokemon that no one really picked up, which was interesting. I ended up grabbing Cradily as a trade swap for it, and I think Cradily better fits my team for sure. Leafeon was cool just being like as a sun thing, but Cradily fits much better, having that Storm Drain ability, pulls water moves away from Flygon and Heatran, and I think it just fills the grass role a little bit better. We unfortunately are not immune, like we're not resistant to ground, we are just neutral to it, so that kind of is a worry for us. But like I said, we have plenty of flying and levitate that I don't think that was ever going to be a problem for us. Next up, we grabbed Granbull. I wanted an Intimidator really bad. That was one of my high checkpoint lists that I really wanted to grab. I ended up picking Granbull over things like Tauros or other things like that because I started to see that I could do a cool Trick Room mode with my team, and I wanted a very strong, bulky physical attacker that was slow. On the hindsight, I think I probably should have grabbed Tauros. I think Granbull is fine, but I definitely could have seen myself grabbing Tauros there, having something a little bit faster than base 100, having a real good Intimidator. Tauros on its face is really strong. But Granbull also fills that role really well. Again, has also really good support tools like Thunder Wave or Taunt. Has access to things like Charm and the cool fairy support moves. So Granbull does its job very well, and with the right support around it, we can usually probably take over a game with this thing. Next up, we started to look into my speed control options, where we drafted Chimako. I think Chimako is probably one of the more niche Trick Room setters in this format. Being Levitate and Psychic type and have access to all the cool support tools that Chimako gets is usually a win-win. This thing has access to moves like Safeguard, Rain Dance, Sunny Day, Heal Bell, Heal Pulse as well, I think. There's a lot of good support tools on this Pokemon, and you could also do like Calm Mind, Stored Power things, which is not something that most people expect, but having access to a very good redirector in Togekiss early meant that I can usually get away with doing something like that with this Pokemon. Next up, we drafted our Water type to kind of fill out our Water, Fire, Grass core that we had sitting here. I originally drafted Relicanth. This thing it was good, but I ended up trading this one as well out for something with a little bit more power behind it, which we ended up grabbing Huntail, which is also kind of played into the Trick Room theme a little bit better. Huntail ends up being a little bit slower, if I remember correctly. Yeah, we're a couple points slower. We don't have that rock weakness, that rock typing on there, so we are a good steel resist instead of being the kind of bulky water type. Like, we get to be the bulky water type if we want to be. We have real good defense and decent special defense, decent HP, and my team was very specially attacking focused. Flygon, Heatran, Togekiss, Rotom, all of those were really good on the special side, and I needed more physical attackers besides Scramble, and Huntail kind of fits that bill. So this thing has access to Shell Smash and Surf for Cradilly. There's a lot of things that Huntail can do for this team that Relicanth really couldn't get away with, and I think this was also a very good trade for my team. Last here, we have the Pidgeot. I drafted Pidgeot at the very end. I think this was more of a I needed Tailwind than anything else kind of pick. This could honestly have been anything that just has Tailwind, and I think we would have been fine. Notably, this is get to 101 speed, so there are scenarios where that is fine. But I really think that I probably could have picked something better than Pidgeot. There was nothing really good. This was the last pick of the draft. There's nothing left to really pick from, and I think this was just the best of what was remaining. And now that we've gone over the team, let's talk about my week 1 match. We'll watch it first and then kind of give thoughts a little bit about it afterwards. All right. Okay, we got that going. Let's see. Opponent brought almost exactly what I expected. The Wish Cache is interesting. No Vileplume, which is kind of nice. Sup? Hey, bub. Latias can be a problem. I think we lead this to start. Or we can go Trick Room. We can do Togekiss, Chimecho. I don't know how good that is. I think Togekiss, Flygon, Granbull, Keytran. I appreciate all the follows, everyone. Granbull, Heatran seems fine. I really think I need to get my Trick Room up if I'm going to win this game. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll go Trick Room mode and try to get this one here. We'll see if we can get away with the Trick Room strats game 1. See how our opponent... Okay, so they're looking to do bulky strats. They're probably going to fake out Chimecho. They could be looking to do Trick Room of their own. Which, if they want to set Trick Room themselves, that's fine. I could go for a flinch into the Aggron. But it's probably safer to protect and yawn. It's going good. Getting game 1 underway here. Nope, into Chimico, that's fine. 100% fine. Yep. That's expected. They don't know what we were going for there. Since they showed Heavy Slam, I don't know if I want to bring Granbull in or not. I think... Could I Air Slash the Aggron? Try to get a flinch here? It's not going to do a ton, but Aggron's special defense is kind of poor. And then we do get the Trick Room up here. I could just sacrifice Togekiss and not show them anything. And get the Trick Room off. Yeah, I think we'll do that. Look at me. Yep, that's fine. Dazzling Gleam is 100% fine. Yep, there's the Heavy Slam. Togekiss is not going to take that. That's fine. We know it's not going to tank that hit 100% of the time. We get our Trick Room off. Then we can bring out our Granbull. I know I underspeed at min speed aggro unless they're Iron Ball. And then yawn into Mr. Mime. That sounds like it'll be fun. That would be Kyurem White Groudon. Ooh, almost picked up the KO there. Showed off my Life Orb. They are Figgy or Citrus. No, they're Lychee. Little Salac Berry. That's actually good for me, because then I get my yawn off on Mr. Mime. Dazzling Gleam. We're a bulkier Granbull. If they want a Heavy Slam here, that's fine. Sure. And then we get to show off our cool Keytran set here. So now I know my Aggron's going to be faster than Chimico. So I might be able to get a good Earthquake off here and Psychic the Aggron. Opponent's thinking real hard on this one. I would expect they switch out Mr. Mime into something. Oh, they're going to switch out Aggron. Probably into Latias. No, into Charizard. That's fine. Pretty sure Charizard doesn't appreciate this Psychic. And I get to show off that I'm physical Keytran. They're probably resetting the Trick Room, which is fine. Oh no, they're just going for Dazzling Gleam still. I wonder if they're just like, that's their only damaging move. The Mr. Mime's now asleep. We could Stone Edge the Charizard. And there's only a couple of turns of Trick Room left. Psychic probably into the Mr. Mime to steal some chip. Or I get a Psychic the Charizard in case the move misses. Okay, yeah, they're just going to protect. That's fine. They burn their first turn of sleep. That's fine. So we know the Charizard has Protect. They know we have Stone Edge. I'm gonna Psychic the Mr. Mime slot. And we just hope for a Stone Edge to connect here. Sweet. Bye-bye, Charizard. And then Trick Room should be ending this turn. If my math is correct. Yes. So now we outspeed Aggron. Unless they have speed investment of some sort. Because Aggron was slower than us? Yeah. Aggron is back. I can click Earthquake again. And Psychic the Mr. Mime. I think they're just hoping for like a Mr. Mime wake up. Nope. So we get to see Aggron is faster. Taking out the Chimecho here. That's fine. We'll get a double KO here with our Keytran. Physical Keytran came to play today. We're in a 1v1. If this is Ninetales, we're in a real good spot. If it's Wish Cash, we're in trouble. Yeah, there's Wish Cash. Okay, so we need some... Oh, it's shiny too. Nice. So we would need some big time damage. And I don't think we're beating Wish Cash effectively here. Not with this set anyway. We 100% don't take a ground type move. I feel like we brought the right team. We're faster. Okay. Not doing a chunk of damage to this Wish Cash though. Earthquake's just going to take us out. They got us game one. Aggron definitely was a problem game one. I think had I brought the Flygon instead of the Grand Bull, I think we're fine there. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to hit. Choose the battle team. So the Trick Room plan was good. I don't... Their Aggron is the plan for the Trick Room. They probably lead Sun, expecting me to do Trick Room things again, which if they lead Sun, we can do like Togekiss, Flygon, Keytran, Spirit Tomb, or Togekiss, Spirit Tomb. I actually don't hate that. Actually, I don't think Togekiss is needed at all. We just play Flygon. The Aggron is likely max speed. So playing to my Trick Room out is important. But I think this forces them into a decision point that they'd have to figure out. What's more important to them. Do I need Togekiss at all? Yeah, I think this is fine. Mr. Mime, so they led the same. Cool, so my lead is better. They're likely going to fake out into Chimecho, expecting me to protect. I wonder if I can just get a Dragon Dance off here. Actually, what I could do is just pivot into Grand Bull and Dragon Dance. That way I get boosted rock slides. Actually, I think I'm just going to protect here. I think they're going to fake out the Flygon. Yep, there's the aggro, expecting a ground type move. Into Latias. I should have just Dragon Danced here. Shiny Latias is sick. But this is good for me because I get to bring out the Granbull here. And I protect myself from a potential Dragon type, Dazzling Gleam. Icy Wind, okay. That's fine. So, what can we do here? We can play rough into this. And we could safely swap Keytran in here. There's nothing that those two can do to my Flygon. That would super effective into my Keytran. Latias is going to protect. That's fine. Icy Wind. Yeah, like, we're already slower, so these speed drops don't mean a ton. Got a crit on the Granbull. That's unfortunate. I know I can probably take one Psychic. And I know play rough Oko's Latias in most situations. I think I'm going to click Fire Fang into Mr. Mime. Just to deal significant damage. Yep, Psychic. I'm pretty sure I take one. Nope. Nope. It is a roll. It got me. Icy Wind is fine. Fire Fang into Mr. Mime. That's some real good damage. Now we send Chimecho out. Chimecho is safety on here. And I'm going to crunch into this Latias. We on into the Latias slot in case they swap Latias out. Here comes Mr. Mime's gone. Here comes the Wish Cache. That's fine. Dropping a Draco into the Chimecho. We take that like a boss. Yeah, so they didn't swap out the Latias here, which is fine. Crunch puts it in real big damage range. Psychic the Wish Cache, swap to Flygon. Latias is at -2, so it's not doing a ton of damage, and could always miss. Oh, we live on one. The second sash. Holy crap. Levitate, levitate, levitate. There's a clip for you. Psychic into this Wish Cache. Deals a good chunk. Latias is now asleep. I feel like we are fine to set up a Dragon Dance here. Since this is physical Wish Cache, I don't think it has a way to hit Flygon super effectively outside of like random outrage. And since I know, yeah, they're just going to protect. So I get free Dragon Dance here. That's the first turn of guaranteed sleep. So now I outspeed Latias. I don't expect Wishcash to stay in here. I expect it to swap out into like Mr. Mime. No, okay. So I can go for flinches here. We pick up Latias, which was important. They go for Waterfall into Chimiko. That's fine. We can easily Dragon Claw the Wishcash here and take it out. Yep, there's the Aggron. We have Keytran. I think Earthquake, Dragon Claw is the best bet. Because they can't safely Earthquake with Aggron on their side. Dragon Claw, take out the Wishcash? Yes. And then Aggron's going to Heavy Slam into Flygon, I assume. We take that like a boss. We can Earthquake into the Aggron. It's sturdy. That's fine. They've got the speed boost. Flygon is still faster than that thing. So I feel like the out here is to protect this turn. We click Earthquake. We click Protect. If they fake out Keytran, that's fine. Their Aggron used Earthquake. That's fine. We live. We get to Earthquake back. This is GG. So we know we can survive Earthquake from Aggron. We can't survive Earthquake from Wishcash. We know Dragon Claw can almost take out a Wishcash by itself after +1. So that's a good thing to know. So what we could just... We've shown off Crunch. We've shown off the entire moveset. Rock Slide, Crunch. Yeah. We got game 2. Going to game 3. This one's close. Much closer than I thought it'd be. I thought I would really struggle against the Sun team. And they haven't brought the Sun part once. So, I doubt they lead the same thing this time. What do they lead? I doubt they lead Aggron Mr. Mime again. I really doubt they lead that again. They could lead Double Sun, in which case Spirit Tomb's important. Did we see an attack out of Charizard? I don't think we did. I think Spirit Tomb Flygon is fine. Keytran Granbull. Spirit Tomb's carrying Sucker Punch and Snarl and Rain Dance. I want to do that at all. Yeah, no clue now for this one. I think Flygon, getting a Flygon to +1 is critical for this game plan. And the question is just how do I go about doing that? The Chimecho has been useful at like getting yawns off and whatnot because he's just not respecting it. But I really think he leads Sun this game, this turn. He just leads the Sun duo to try and overpower me, and I have Spiritomb just sitting there in the back. I'm afraid of him leading the Sun duo and just getting me. Are you stuck, Penny? Oh, I'm sorry, sweetheart. Cool. So we have Spiritomb Flygon here, so that'll be an interesting duo. Give me a second, sweetie. I'll get you out. There you go, sweetheart. Cat got stuck in here while I closed the door. So what do they do here? We know Mr. Mime has Icy Wind. I could just click Snarl all day, or I could just Sucker Punch the Wish Cache. Actually, Sucker Punching the Mr. Mime doesn't seem like a terrible plan. And then we can just protect... Actually, I actually don't mind Sucker Punch Mr. Mime expecting Icy Wind. Or Fake Out. If they Fake Out, then we're just like, it's whatever. I don't want to show Sucker Punch off yet, though. Snarl. Gramble. Get that Intimidate into that Wish Cache. Weaken it a little bit. It's Oblivious? Okay, cool. There it is. That's I didn't know what ability it was, because I knew there's a bunch of them. So that's fine. D-Gleam. We're bulky enough on the Spiritomb to take that for sure. Wish Cache is also setting up Dragon Dances. That's fine. So knowing that the Mr. Mime is going for Dazzling Gleams, we can just do this. And then I actually think Play Rough might be enough. It sucks that the first Dazzling Gleam did not put me in berry range. That's fine. Showed the Sucker Punch. They're going for Earthquake here. Yep. This is probably going to take out Gramble. Oh, it didn't take out anybody. Okay. So we get our Citrus off. If this puts Wish Cache in range of a Sucker Punch, this might be good for us. That's going to be close. That's going to be really close. I think the safe play is to protect this turn and just Sucker Punch the Wish Cache and see how much damage we deal. So the Wish Cache is not protecting. We get our Sucker Punch off. Oh, so close. So close to picking up the Wish Cache there. Spiritomb survives just barely. Waterfall into... Yep, Spiritomb is gonna pick it up, no problem. They will outspeed Keytran. The question is, do they outspeed Flygon? The Mr. Mime's at -1. I can probably... I doubt they will Earthquake again. Now, this turn they could safely Earthquake. But them Earthquaking isn't good. They probably just Dazzling Gleam because they know they'll pick up Granbull. And then... Waterfall into Flygon. I think minimizing my losses here is important. This plays around Waterfall into my... Okay, so they're just going to go for Protect and Degleam here. I am faster than the Wishcash. Okay, noted. I'm faster than the Wishcash on Flygon. Either that or I'm Speed Tied. One of the two. I don't know if I'm faster than the Mr. Mime. But we're going to find out. This is up for all the marbles here. We'll see what happens. Is Flygon faster than Mr. Mime? Because now I'm in his head is... Nope, not faster than Mr. Mime. So we are taking an Earthquake here. Flygon took a chunk. We are likely taking an Earthquake here because I'm not going to be able to pick up the KO on the Wishcash. No, they just went for Waterfall into Keytran. We take that one. Okay. I don't think I can win still, but I think I pick up the double here. So, fun fact, before I started playing for this team, like, hardcore, I had Solar Beam on my Togekiss to pick up an opposing, Latias and Aggron. Okay. Well, we definitely don't beat the Aggron. Yeah, I think this game is just over. I think this game is just over. Yeah, Latias Psychic into Flygon, picks it up, and then Earthquake from Aggron picks it up. GG's! So my week 1 opponent was Aldwood of the Moss Deep Mimikyus. As we saw, they had a very powerful Sun team featuring Charizard, Latias, Ninetales, Aggron, Mr. Mime, and Wishcash. I had to really respect the Sun in team building, mainly due to the fact that I think like Solar Powered Charizard just runs through my team really well, having access to things like Solar Beam and Heat Wave and stuff like that. And little did I know that they were really afraid of Keytran. Like the Pokemon that can just sit there in front of their Sun duo and just kind of negate a lot of what they were doing, meant that they respected Keytran about as much as I respected their Sun. So it ended up being a non-factor entirely and never saw their Sun duo at all. On the flip side of that, thinking back about it, I should have probably focused on building a more cohesive team rather than trying to build a counter to Sun team. We had a very bulky Togekiss with a little bit of speed investment, which I probably should have put more speed into instead of looking at trying to live a bunch of hits. Follow Me Redirection would have been huge in this game. Being able to kind of ignore Wishcash would have been a good idea as well. I also had Solar Beam on Togekiss way back in the early building phase, and so we kind of missed out on an opportunity there. Instead, we played for Ancient Power to beat up the opposing fire types that were a problem, and had Air Slash as just stab flinch coverage. Flygon was lummed to kind of play around with a Vileplume. Didn't really want to get slept and wanted to be able to outspeed afterwards, which I knew that after a Dragon Dance and we could change the weather, we could easily outspeed Vileplume and take care of it no problem. Heatran was a physical Heatran set. I thought that was really, really nifty. You don't look at Heatran and think physical attacker very often, but its stats really can line up for it. Fire Fang was really good into Vileplume if it was a Sun thing. Earthquake was really good into like their Steel type Aggron and their Ninetales if that was the thing that came up. Rock Slide obviously was for Charizard, and I actually was carrying Crunch because Crunch could 2-hit KO their Latias with Expert Belt. So I was definitely looking forward to trying to get that out of the way most of the time, because Latias was also a problem for my team. Spirit Tomb here was really cool. Chesto Berry, Rain Dance, Sucker Punch, Snarl, Protect. This was kind of just like my anti-Sun Pokemon. Both Sunsetter and Charizard are both very specially focused, so you could do like Snarl things in front of it because you could usually live a hit. You could do Sucker Punch to get your attacks off first if you needed to. We had Rain Dance on this thing to try and change the weather if we wanted to. And we also just ran Protect to kind of prolong our game plan and kind of stall it out a little bit. We also ran Chesto Berry because, again, Vileplume was a problem, and I felt running Chesto on Spirit Tomb was much more important than running Lum on Flygon because things like Will-O-Wisp are much more effective on Flygon than a Spirit Tomb. To round out the team, we kind of brought a Trick Room mode because I knew they would likely like to go fast, which they had countered that fairly well with their aggro and Wishcash plan, but little did they know that I had already accounted for aggro with my Granbull. So Granbull notably will underspeed aggro at 0 IVs when speed with the Brave Nature, so we got to do that and still be our bulky physical attacker that we wanted to be. We could survive a Heat Wave from a Charizard and Sun. We had Rock Slide, Play Rough, Brick Break, and Protect with Life Orb. We were going to hit them really, really hard and just try to do our thing in Trick Room. As for Chimico, it was our Trick Room setter of choice. We knew that this thing was really, really good. We also wanted to be quiet nature so we could try to underspeed certain things. Safeguard to help against sleep and burn. Trick Room to kind of help flip us on that axis for speed. Psychic to help hit that stab damage into Vileplume, and then Yawn to kind of flip the tables on status back towards them. This team felt fine. Opponent had planned really well for us. Had we had brought Solar Beam on Togekiss, I think it would have been a different story because I don't think Wishcash then gets to run rampant like it did. Okay, so week 2 of the LDL. We are playing against the Candy King, aka Alex123, longtime community member. I don't think I've actually ever gotten to play against them in anything official, so this will be cool. Make sure my team is set. It is. Let's double check here. Make sure, triple check, double check, all that stuff. Cool. Yeah, we're good. Yes. Okay, let's see what 6 they brought. They had a very scary combo of, yep, Sand plus Nidoqueen. The Chansey's cool. So what could we do here to just really mess with them? So I have bulky physical Heatran this week. I also have very offensive Togekiss. So I think I actually want to leave these two. Cradily in the back to deal with Lapras. And then probably Rotom. Yeah, I like that. I like this play a lot. I liked it a lot. Text to my opponent. Toxicroak, Tyranitar. So we are some sandy boys today. Sandstorm's up. I think we just make them pick who they want to save. Like, if they fake out one, yeah. And then we just take out the Tyranitar. Like, I feel like that's the safest pick, is we just make them pick who they want to keep alive. And they decide to keep Toxicroak. So Toxicroak, if it has Sash, is no longer sashed. We are locked into... So they are Black Sledge? Yay. There's the Lapras. 100% going for an Ice-type move, most likely. Swap into Rotom. Psychic into Lapras. Because I expect Toxicroak to switch out. Get out of here. Pivot into our Rotom. Poison Jab into Togekiss. So it's faster than my Togekiss. We're bulky, though. We're fine. Expected to protect, but it didn't do it, so... Oh, we resist the heck out of this hit. That's fine. They could have Nidoqueen in the back here. So keeping Togekiss around might be important. And that's Lefty's Lapras? Okay. I think I want to just Thunderbolt. And pivot into probably Cradily. So they leave Lapras in. We put a real good significant chunk of damage onto that Lapras. He knows about our Life Orb now. That's fine. That is completely fine. 100% okay. You were already full HP. I don't think that mattered too much. Freeze Dry is going to hurt, but we're bulky. Oh my goodness. Okay. I think Lapras goes down to Scarf Bulldoze here. The freeze is kind of unlucky, but that's fine. Scarf Bulldoze, and then gotta see if we just thought to set up a stockpile. Yeah, the Lapras going down there is really good. Lapras going down is huge for us there. Okay, just takes out the Cradily. That's fine. So we're locked into Bulldoze. I think this is fine because we have Togekiss here. There's the Exploud. Okay. So I can Bulldoze an Aura Sphere. Okay, that's fine. Hope for a crit on the Bulldoze then? Oh, went for Protect. It went to block the Feint. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you got it. I think that was a crit on Toxicroak. No, that's just standard damage. Okay. Now I wish they just had knock off to knock off our Scarf. That's a 3-hit KO. There's Boom Burst. That's an Oko, yep. Yep. I think had we not gotten frozen there... That's Life Orb, okay. Had we not gotten frozen, I think we win that game. They got a very lucky freeze that turn. So I don't think they bring Tyranitar. I think they lead Lapras this next time. I didn't see Protect on the Toxicroak at all. So that tells me that I can just Psychic into that slot with Togekiss next time. I think... I think this lead is fine. I could go for Huntail things, but I don't think I want to do that. I really think that lead was just fine. And then not getting frozen is a much better option. Sure, bud. I almost expect the Ice Beam into Flygon here. Yeah, I think they're gonna fake out Flygon and just Ice Beam it. Like, I don't want to follow me the Ice Beam. Okay, just fake out the Togekiss. Sludge Bomb? No, I was right. It is just Ice Beam into the that slot. I'm just gonna Psychic and Blizzard. They're Scarf. Got it. They're also Scarf. Noted. No Lucky Freezes this time. That was a lot of damage. Yeah, Togekiss can go down here. Now we can switch into our Flygon and just bulldoze and win the game here. Because they don't know that we're Scarf. They probably assume it. Sure. Get a free double knockout here. They now know that I'm Scarf. They now 100% know I'm Scarf. We get to see their double. Exploud and Lapras, probably. I think pivot into Cradily and protect this turn is what we do. Because if we can get the superpower off into the Exploud, we win. Yeah, they're just going for Boom Burst. Oh, we take that like a champ. We take that like a champ. And hopefully no freeze-dry freeze this game. Actually, since it just protected, I think double into the Lapras slot is what we do here. Because we guaranteed outspeed and take out the Exploud. Paralysis is good. That's a start. They land the Focus Blast. That's fine. Into the Rotom. Heal. We're now faster than Lapras. We get the Giga Drain. Pick up the Lapras. That tells me it's not very bulky. Because Cradily has no, like, almost no special attack investment. And then we get to send out Flygon. Flygon gets to blow up the opposing Exploud. I don't show off anything else. We just superpower. Yeah. like scouting for an extra move, you're not going to get any extra knowledge. I'm not giving you extra knowledge there, bud. Sorry. Superpower, blow it up. Sick. Go on to the next one. Okay, so yeah, so the 4 I brought were the correct 4. It's just there's a different line of play that we needed to make it work. And so now that they know that, they're really scared of Flygon. And he's faked out the Togekiss every time on the lead. So that might be the line that I need. I don't know if that would work, but this might get him. What is my speed again? 160? Oh. Which, we're 152 at +1. So yeah, no, I don't think I can do that. I don't see what lead they bring differently. I really don't see what lead they'd change. Because those are their best Mons, and like, Chansey doesn't do anything. Tyranitar just dies. So yeah, I think these 4 are just the best 4 we have. Like, these are the 4 that we're bringing every time. Yep. This is the line where he fake outs into the Flygon. I wonder if I can get a free Nasty Plot off. This is the line where he fake outs into the Flygon. Yeah, I called it. I knew it. I knew it. Yep, there's the Dragon Dance. I don't think you outspeed me still. Yep, you get to heal. So now I Bulldoze and Psychic the Toxicroak. Yep, there's the Protect. That's fine. I don't care about that. What I care about is that Toxicroak in front of me. And now I get to take that thing out. Like, I know I've won the speed game. So now that I have a +2 Togekiss, I just win. Togekiss hits everything but Lapras on their team. And with Flygon sitting next to it, I can just spam Bulldoze and hit whatever. There's the Lapras. Bulldoze. He hasn't seen this yet. Blow up the T-Tar. If we lose our Flygon here, that's okay. Togekiss will be able to take out the X-Sploud, I think. Oh, just aiming for the Togekiss. Okay. I think that means we win. Because if this last Mon is X-Sploud, we just pivot. Aurora Sphere into Lapras or Exploud. Okay, so it's Exploud. Okay, so we don't fear anything. We just bulldoze. And Aurora Sphere into either one of these will take it out. I think they protect Exploud and they sack Lapras. Oh, no, they're just going to Boom Burst. Okay, that's fine. Good read. Good read. That may cost me the game here. We'll find out. But their team is at both Pokemon are at -1, so I am faster on both. Faster than both, probably. The Sploud's taking extra chip damage there. Lapras is healing up. I do have Rotom in the back. Rotom Thunderbolt plus Cradily stockpile's probably fine here. I know the Lapras can't protect, so the odds he goes for Boom Burst this turn are low. So I think I'm just going to Thunderbolt the Exploud. Yeah, that's GG. That's locked up. Like, we get a stockpile off. We're going to get bulky Cradily going here. Cradily's time to shine. Let's get it. No freeze? Oh my gosh, come on. That is 2 freezes now. On my poor Cradily. Thankfully, we're +1. And we know Thunderbolt deals a good chunk to this Lapras. The fact he's gotten 2 freezes this match is insane. Yeah. I don't think he wins this endgame. He would have to get triple protect. And the odds of that are very low. Protect this turn. Yep. Like, this is his out. He has to get triple protect here. If we thaw, I think we win. Yep, we're still frozen. Yeah, he has to get triple protect here, which it's a 1 in 9. Failed. GG's, bub. Good game. Our week 2 team was much more balanced than our week 1 team. I learned my lesson from week 1 of trying to focus too hard on trying to beat one aspect of theirs, and instead I focused on exploiting a weakness that I saw. The Candy Kings team was fairly slow compared to mine. They had a very good Trick Room plan with Porygon 2 and some stuff like that, but overall they really had to rely on things like Scarf or trying to get Trick Room up to try and beat me that way. So we definitely were prepared for speed control games and trying to outspeed them. The biggest worry I had was Nidoqueen and Toxicroak alongside Rotom Heat. And notably, Rotom Heat didn't even come to this game. I had built a Keytran set just to strictly deal with Rotom Heat, and it never showed up. It wasn't even in the 6 they brought. Instead, Exploud showed up and started doing some really good work on my team, but thankfully we had brought a lot of fighting coverage for Tyranitar, So we were kind of covered on that aspect naturally without having to worry too much. I had brought Choice Scarf Flygon. That was the big winner of this week. Being able to Choice Scarf bulldoze my opponent and get that speed advantage on everybody else was critical to trying to win this week. They also didn't bring a very bulky Lapras, or if they were, my Rotom just overpowered it really, really well. Thunderbolt was very, very strong. We also had the combo of Bulldoze Discharge instead of Bulldoze Quake, which is not as strong, but is still a very powerful tool, especially if if you're trying to outspeed opposing Pokemon. The Togekiss set was nasty this week. We brought Nasty Plot, Aurasphere, and Extrasensory. We did not care about Stab at all. Fairy was not a very good type into their team because they had double poison. And so I definitely was like looking for other ways to hit them, and having Extrasensory meant that I could bop either Toxicroak or Nidoqueen if I got set up in front of it properly. The last two here were kind of just like last minute additions. Cradily and Huntail felt like a good synergy duo on this team. It kind of helped me against Tyranitar a little bit, giving me like access to Rain Dance again to kind of change the weather on my opponent. Unintentionally, I just have this weather strategy, which I didn't intend on drafting when I drafted these Pokemon, but it just happens to be that way. Surf, Rain Dance, Protect, and Hydro Pump meant that I could blow up an opposing Tyranitar, because Assault Vest is not in this generation at all, so I don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So Rain Dance boosted Hydro Pump usually took out Tyranitars unless they were max HP and max special defense. And then lastly, we had Cradily here. Cradily was silently one of the better Pokemon this week, having access to Giga Drain and Stockpile to kind of get bulky and kind of wall that opposing Lapras. We also had access to Rock Tomb to, again, accentuate that speed control issue that we really wanted to make sure we focused on, and kind of just try to draw the game out. Overall, this team felt fantastic. The support Keytran maybe been just a little bit too cute. I think had I put actual damaging moves on Keytran, it could have came to a match or two, but it just turned out that the four that were really, really good, the Togekiss, Flygon, Rotom, Cradily core just shine, and I just brought him every single game because it just was the great thing to have. And that's the squad. I'm really pleased with my draft. I think so far that we have a very good shot of making our playoffs here. The way our groups are set up, everyone plays everyone, so we'll hopefully can get some good wins in the next coming weeks and sneak into playoffs at like a 3-2 or like a 2-2 or whatever. Make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications for when new videos go live. It helps us out a lot. Make sure to check us out on Twitter at OurLessons, at Mr.Missouri25, and at MusicalBGC. You can come check me out on Twitch. I play my matches on Thursday afternoons every other week. This week's cycle we are off, so we'll probably play Pokemon Legends Arceus on next Thursday instead of doing the draft league thing. And yeah, week 4 will be against the Goliath Garchomps, I think. Captain Aro and all them. He's a really good player, and I'm excited for that matchup. Thanks for watching, and we will see you all next week. Bye, everyone.